What does it take for you to be well? The answer varies from person to person, but for everyone, wellness requires four key components. The first is commitment. Being well takes work. It's continuous and sometimes grueling work. And let's face it, sometimes we just don't want to do it. And this is reflected in our thought patterns, our behaviors, and our attitudes. We know some of them don't serve us, but yet we continue to engage in them because it's easier. But in order for us to be truly well, we have to keep that same energy of commitment for ourselves that we have for our parents, for our children, for our significant others, and for our jobs. Now, there's a saying about you can't pour from an empty cup, and I know it's overused, but it's never been truer, especially in today's time. You can't pour from an empty cup. So, in order to be well, you have to be self full. And what I mean by selfful is the same way that we are sometimes helpful or successful. We have to be full of ourselves. And that takes commitment to make sure that you invest in putting yourself first and making sure that you have all you need to be the best version of yourself. It also means committing to making a plan and setting goals for your well being. Commitment. The second step is action. Autumn means that the days are getting shorter and colder, and it's getting so dark. And this can lead to seasonal depression for a lot of folks, or just wanting to sit around in your raggedy sweatpants eating mashed potatoes curled up under a blanket. But wellness is not just about moving your body. It also means taking action. This includes everything from annual physicals to colonoscopies to blood work and, most importantly, that checkup from the neck up. Adulting is so unfun sometimes, but aren't you worth the time that it takes and the action that it takes to be healthy? The last two ways to wellness may not be as obvious as the first two. The third is trust. Trust your instincts, trust how you feel about your body. When you know something's wrong, believe that feeling that you get. And if you're not sure, see a doctor. And if that doctor tells you something and you still think something's wrong, then you get a second or you get a third opinion. You have to be assertive and trust knowledge of your body and knowledge of yourself. Now, this is especially important for people who belong to marginalized communities, Blacks, Hispanics, and people who are living in poverty, because there are clear health disparities that exist, and these health disparities often arise from biases around people who are Black, Hispanic, and who are living in poverty. Yes, they have degrees and years of schooling and maybe have dealt with thousands of patients, but nobody has lived inside your body but you, and you know what's right. Everything from a small thing as such as like, oh, I notice I need more fiber in my diet, to this lump feels scary. You know when something's wrong, and you need to trust yourself in knowing that. Trust when you feel that urge for a certain food, not because it's a craving, but maybe because my body needs a nutrient from that. Trust that gut feeling that you need that second or third opinion because it could save your life. The last way to health and wellness is to know when to surrender. And know that surrender does not mean giving up. It means letting go. It means allowing whatever is supposed to unfold to do just that. It is estimated that over 40 million Americans deal with an anxiety disorder, and only one third are actually seeking ongoing treatment for it. We are in the middle of a pandemic. We are dealing with racial and civil unrest. And as a result, that means people are suffering physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Feeling worried, anxious, angry, and even defeated are to be expected. When we surrender, we are not forgetting about the challenges that we are facing. We are taking control of what we can control. And most oftentimes, it's really just ourselves and our response to those challenges. If you are religious, sometimes surrendering means praying and letting go. Other times it means just taking a time out from life and doing something where you go and have fun and remember what it's like to be a child. And other times it's just taking a nap because you just need to go to bed. Other times it's just pausing and taking a time out from life or taking a nap because you're just exhausted and knowing that tomorrow is a new day. I hope your today is amazing and I hope your tomorrow is amazing. And if it isn't, go to bed, start all over again. So today it's time for you to practice those 4 ways to wellness. And remember, that means being committed to wellness. That means taking action. That means trusting yourself. And that means knowing when to surrender. If you start with the first, you will gradually get to the next. Once again, I'm Dr. Bosworth, and this has been your 4 ways to wellness.